at Southside High School with some very special Lady Panthers, I guess you'd call you. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with Coach here, let you introduce yourself and who you have with you.
All right, I'm Courtney Brothers, the coach at Southside.
I'm Sydney Yancey.
I'm Hannah Rogers. And I'm Keelan Voss.
All right. Coach, I'm going to start with you. It's been a while since we've been out here. Pretty stretched pretty thin, and during football season we're really thin, but you guys are so good, and we get asked all the time about it. We definitely come out here, and this will be the last year we do this. Next year we're going to have a volleyball team that goes out each week and visits with people. So that's a huge positive. But until then, we got to do this anyways and get this work in and get your message out, because you guys are doing really well again as usual. And since we've been out here, Coach, we've had a lot of things change, but get us up to speed, just what with your team and what you guys look like from the last game last year to where you're at this point in the season.
Well, we lost a pretty tough game against Gunnersville last year. We had four key seniors that we lost, and then I had these youngins over here who pretty much played as sophomores and juniors last year, so they just kind of stepped in and filled those roles for us. And then we had some other kids that the same age, even though we lost those four seniors, juniors and some sophomores that just stepped right in, so that kind of helped us to where they've been in that role before to come on in and come back into this season. So now we got 3 weeks left of our season, so we're past that midway point. So we have a tough schedule. We don't have a cookie schedule, like I like to say. So our schedule's tough to help prepare us for our area tournament and regionals and so forth. So we're about where we need to be at. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we're about a little over halfway. So we're okay with where we're at right now.
Yeah, you definitely want to peak at the right time as well. You don't want to peak early and then lose everything. Now, this is something that we've asked coaches from every sport, and we've gotten different answers from every single coach, and that's COVID-19. I mean, it's affected us all. I think everybody can agree with that. But some people more than others. How have you, Coach, dealt with it? Because you guys put a lot of work in the summer, and definitely right when school starts in fall. So how has it affected you and this team?
Well, I mean, honestly, it hasn't affected us that big. It hasn't been that big of a deal for us, because we still started out with our summer workouts. We couldn't have mandatory practices this year, but we still came in and had open gyms, and we pretty much had like 95 kids sign up to try out for volleyball from 7th through 12th grade. So
You said 95?
95. Yeah, that's how many we had to sign out from our program, or to sign up for our program. So my older bunch, they still put their work in. They went 2 days a week working out, and then they would come in, once or twice a week during the summer for just, we did skill work. It was pretty much a free summer camp for all of our kids that we had for all those to get in, and then we started, practice, right off after our tryouts, which was the 27th of July. So everything was just, pushed back a little bit. It was just crunch for time, but as far as anything else, it didn't really affect us that much. It's just, shorter time frame. We just had to work a little harder and a little faster pretty much to catch up. But that was, to me, that was not just us or Etowah County, that was the whole state of Alabama. So, I think, our girls and our administration, all that has done a good job of, getting everything together. And they've done a great job too, of doing what they're supposed to do, washing their hands, wearing their mask and all that kind of stuff. So we're not quarantine off. Half of my kids are about virtual, so that's helped too.
That's really helpful.
So they're not, being sent home, especially my older girls. So
that's really helpful for sure. You ladies, the same question for you. We'll start right here. How did it affect you, workouts or anything? Has it changed your mindset or hindered you in any ways?
I mean, we've tried to normalize it as much as we can, just put it in the back of our heads, but like she said, we've really taken care of ourselves, and we've washed our hands and did everything we could so that we could have our season. So, I mean, we've really done what we're supposed to do.
Makes sense.
I think also, our season could end at any time. We don't know what's going to happen really, so it gives us a reason to work even harder, because every game we play could be our last.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it makes us younger girls want to work hard for our older girls too, because we know that their season could be over and they could have their last game at any point, and we don't want them to go out on a bad note.
Absolutely. And Coach, you know, speaking of girls, it seems like every single year you have superstar come through here, superstar come through here. Now, me personally, I know great programs. You have a lot to do with them becoming a superstar. So, what is it about this group of girls right here? You know, they're the next girls up. It's a little bit different from some of these other girls that you have.
Number one, you know, like I said, going back to this summer, you know, we've gotten phone calls or texts about, hey, you can, you know, y'all come up and meet us just to get some extra work in the gym. You know, it'd be like we'd have maybe 5 or 6, or you know, 2 or 3, and so that's a little different from the years past, to where we hadn't really had anybody contact us, be like, hey, do you mind working a little extra, you know, with us? And this group, that has definitely was you know, kind of a shocker, but it was also, I was really proud of them to, you know, reach out to me and our other coaches, be like, hey, do you mind, you know, on a Sunday afternoon or, you know, a weeknight, hey, do you mind doing some extra work? Yeah, to doing that. So that's one difference between this team and, you know, our years in the past.
And you girls, we'll start over here, like seeing so many stars playing before you. What's that like playing in a system like that?
It does make us feel like, you know, we have an expectation to work up to, but it also gives us the mentality like we got to be better, we got to become better, and I think that's what makes us better.
Mm-hmm. I think we need to, it shows you had such good leaders in front of you, you want to be that for the next. So you want to step up and do your part as good as you can.
Yeah, like them being like superstars in the past, like it puts a huge target on our back because everyone wants to beat us and everyone wants to play against us, and they put their best game against us always. And so that's just a huge target on our back. So it just gives us the fire and the energy to play up and to play better for our team and for them.
You know, it's funny you say that because 90% of the teams we ask in this county, every time we say, who's the rival team? The first word out of their mouth, Southside. It's every single time we ask somebody that's in this county. All right, so Coach, you've won so much and been so good for so long. There's a certain set of expectations here, but I think you have those expectations on yourself as well. Can you talk about that and what it's been like, the journey to get to where you are now?
Well, number one, you know, it's not a whole lot that, you know, we just practice normal and practice and work on skill work. So it's not really me or my coaches who do that. I mean, we've been very fortunate to have, you know, very good, hardworking athletes. So that makes a difference. You know, when you have some athletes who go in there and do what they need to do, then, you know, it's easy on my part, you know, on our coaches' part. But I will say that my junior high coaches do a great job at that level to help prepare. So when they get, you know, to the 9th grade, we're not having to repeat or reteach a whole lot of things. You know, they're ready to go right into our speed of play. We like to play fast. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but we like to have, you know, a fast-paced game, and that's what, to me, helps us along the way because of our competition that we play. You know, is usually a little bit bigger and faster than what you know we are, so it makes us play a little bit better. But you know, it's just, to me, it's just, you know, how the girls react, how, you know, they're working and stuff. So it's, you know, I have a lot of expectations for them, and they know that. And they know that going into the season. So they know when they have a bad game or, you know, something like that, and that's where they come in the next day at practice or the next match, and, you know, they give it their all.
So focus up after a loss.
They do.
Pay attention a little bit.
They do.
Same thing for you girls is expectations always high here. What's it like playing for a team that's like that?
I mean, it just makes us be more hype.
Yeah,
And
sure. But you got to meet. I mean, you have to rise to that. Because if you don't, I mean, you know, you can't be a part of a program that's not, if you ain't excited to be a part of that.
yes, we love to get excited and we like to play up.
No
And
doubt.
that just helps us that's how we win. It's when we do better, when we're all excited and trying our hardest.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of pressure, but once we, you know, get it together and we're having fun, then we do really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, like, even though we do have high expectations, like, we know that if we work really hard, we can meet them. And so it gives us the energy to, like, meet those expectations.
100%. kind of rise up to the challenge. I like that. Coach, this is a question I've asked several volleyball coaches before. You guys have a great product here and have for years and years, but we're in the South, and I mean, football is like king in the South, and you guys play head to head at basically the same time as football. Do you feel like the volleyball's overshadowed sometimes, especially with the lack of media coverage, and partially our fault, but like my thing, we're just getting started. But next year it'll be different. But just in general, you know what I mean? For the hard work you ladies put in, you definitely deserve it.
Oh yeah, I definitely think they get overshadowed a lot. Even coming in this summer and stuff, that's all you kind of saw in the media was like, hey, football season's going to happen. They not once mentioned girls volleyball or even cross country, because that's another fall sport that gets overshadowed as well. But we're thankful for you guys for reaching out to us and all that, and even some of the local newspapers as well. But it is because volleyball's it's growing a little bit more around our area, but just it's always more popular up north and out west and stuff. So they do get the shaft sometimes, but to me, how they play and what they do throughout the season, is just they puts the spotlight back on them. Once during football's getting rolling. And two, they play a lot more games. It's always the hype on Friday night. These girls are getting their hype on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So
that's kind of what I told our guys. I said, we're filming Player of the Week and preview show and one-on-ones. I was like, we're going to break away and go dedicate somebody to do this during the week, because you guys do your main work during the week. Mm-hmm. There's no excuse. So yeah, we definitely help with that moving forward. All right, it's time for you ladies to have a little bit of fun. This necessarily does not have to be one of you, or it could be one of you. We'll see. And if there's a tiebreaker or we can't come to a decision, we're going to have to ask Coach who it is. All right? Who is the class clown on the team?
It's definitely like the older class and the upper class, and juniors and seniors are all.
Is there one in particular?
I think Sydney.
Really?
Yeah.
She looks like the most serious.
It's because my glasses.
Is that what it is?
They're fake.
Who is the sharpest dressed on the team?
Me.
Zanaya.
She does have a 5 foot.
Zanaya.
Zanaya?
Yeah.
She's an athlete too. You should watch her play
My
soccer.
shoe game's strong though.
All right.
It is.
Who is the best leader on the team?
I would say us.
Us and
I think we
So
all
it's
have
about
a different
basic.
role in the leading part.
Yeah.
Different types of
Some
leader?
are more like voice and some are like the way they play.
The actions.
So,
Yeah.
I'll say there's 12 of them on our team. So, like they kind of said, each one of them has a different spot. Some days they're not all on the same page on that leadership role, but I think each of them have a different, leadership role on our
Makes
team
sense.
at different times.
Different type, okay. Who is the best finisher on the team?
Keelan.
Keelan.
No doubt.
She put it down when we needed to.
Who is the best, and what's the word I'm looking here for, Coach, can set them up the best for the kill?
Catwell.
First setter?
Yeah.
I mean,
She's a freshman.
Catwell.
Okay. All
We
right.
have a freshman setter this year.
Really?
Yeah. But she's done a good job.
Freshman.
fresh.
Like you said, they come in ready.
Yeah.
They're ready to roll.
Setter, yeah.
Who has the best attitude on the team? Who's
Zanaya. Zanaya, when it comes to the leading role, she's the voice where when we need a little pepping up, Zanaya comes in and she.
Even if it's
Thanks,
a,
that's fine.
bad pass every night, she's like, good job. She's always,
It might
she's
not always be
encouraging.
the right thing
Yeah,
to
but
say,
she's at least talking and
Yeah.
motivating.
That was my next one. Who is the most positive?
Our bench.
Our
I think
bench is a
bench.
positive
General.
Our
bench.
bench is good.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Our hard hats.
We should
Oh, we
Who is the most coachable? Who takes coaching the best, listens to it, and then goes and does it?
Chloe, no. I feel like she kind of takes credit.
That's a hard question.
I don't know.
They're all pretty good.
All,
For the most part,
we all try to fix our
Because the next
mistakes.
question is going to be pretty fun.
I don't think there's any of us that just don't listen.
Right.
We all
Yeah.
fix what we need to fix.
Okay. That was my next question. Who's the hard-headedest player on the team?
Y'all stop.
You're the most hard-headed?
Sometimes
She can be a little
I have
stubborn.
my days.
She has her days.
Who is the hardest worker? You guys all work hard, but is there anybody that's like, man, she just don't stop?
It's about equal. I feel like. I think Kat has put a lot of work
I
in
think
this
Kat
year. She
really
puts
has.
in the more
She
extra
stays-
work than anybody.
She stays after practice, and she's always here working.
All right. And out of all you, who's the most likable? Who gets along with everybody?
Sydney gets
Sydney.
along with most people.
Okay, all right. All right, so now we got those questions out of the way. Let's go back to Coach here. Coach, what is different about this team than teams you've had in the past? Something, each team has its identity. What is this team's identity?
That's a great question because we just talked about this a few weeks ago, who we are. I'll say, kind of going back earlier about what I was talking about, them calling us up and saying, hey, can we come into the gym a little bit? I've been here for 6 years, and that's the first time that's, ever happened. So I think that's the difference in that, just who we are. We play with that name on our front jersey. That's who we want to be because, we have a lot of people looking at us, whether they're younger or older. And I think Sydney said it just a minute ago, that we also have that target on our back too. So, a lot of people are out to get us on that part. So that's why we have to strive and work hard, every day in practice and in matches to, say, hey, we are Southside.
Absolutely. Now, this question is for the ladies here. What did you learn from the girls that came before you? Like Macy Williams, for example. Girls like that, Bliss, that were really good players that came before you. What was some of the takeaways you got from those girls?
They were all really good leaders, and they knew how to treat us right. They taught the underclassmen. They were always so good to us.
Made you feel like part of the team?
Yes, they always made us feel part of everything, and they would always invite us to do whatever. We'd all do stuff as a team. Last year, and we were just really close to the team last year. That taught us that's how we have to be when they leave. When we're upperclassmen, that we have to treat the young people like that too.
Yeah, creating that chemistry.
They also wanted to win. And every game, whether we were down or up, we were going to finish that game. But then also outside of volleyball, the little things, they'd always make sure we had rods and they'd take care of us.
Now,
Yeah, I think they just told us when one's down, pick the other up. Don't keep bashing them and tell them they're doing bad. Just tell them pick it up. You got this. You're good.
so they created that kind of, coach, that's kind of like self-coaching. They're teaching the chemistry there. That's good. That's
And I
good.
think that's also going back to them too. That started when when I came in, the group that I had, they were juniors at the time, and so then they did the same kind of thing, with Macy and all them. They kind of taught that to them as well. So I think that comes back to them as well. From
It makes me think of a coach we interviewed last year, different sport, but he said, your program's where it needs to be if I don't even show up and practice runs smoothly. That's when you're, and that's kind of what I'm getting from that message, right there. All right, ladies, this is going to be fun. What is the maddest you've ever made, Coach?
The Springfield game last night.
So recent.
yeah,
Can you
still
explain?
fresh.
I got to hear this.
Well, it was an off day, We all have
She
our
just
off
had a bad
days.
day.
Wasn't the
Yeah, let's
happiest.
just leave it
Leave it
at
at
that.
that.
I don't know what other
What's the
time.
maddest you've ever made, Coach?
Gotta think about Jaggers too.
Yeah, Coach B or can I do him? What about made you mad? I make you mad when I'm playing. And
Y'all
I'm
don't
not-
really make me mad.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
more.
me.
I'm just more of a. Yeah, it's just cute.
That's awesome.
She does keep me on my toes down there. It's just more, hey, let's get after it kind. Sometimes they kind of take the feelings a little bit. Because I do. I'm pretty much out on the court with them. I get in trouble for that a lot because I'm out on the court. But
We noticed that when we watch out
Yeah.
play last year.
I got to actually. They're telling me to back up all the time. But it's just pretty much. I'm just trying to. I'm not really yelling at them. I'm just saying. Tell them. I'm pretty much coaching them on the floor as well. So it's not that I get mad. It's just that I expect, especially this bunch, my older bunch, I expect a lot out of them. So sometimes it looks like I'm hollering or being, real mad at them, but I'm really not. It's just, it's just how my personality is. I'm not a sitter. I'm not a sitter. I'm not a quiet person on that part. So
No doubt. Nothing.
I mean, she really don't get just mad at me.
It
Like, we
takes
get
a lot,
frustrated in ourselves sometimes, and she's just
What
like,
can I say?
"Hey, pick it
I got a
up."
She might be right. Coach, let's flip this thing around. And what's the proudest this group of girls has made you?
oh man,
I mean, this team in general.
this team in general. Just we'll be down 7 or 8 points, and into the outside world, the fans, they probably think they're done, and they will, on my standpoint, because I'm their biggest fan, and of course I'm biased to them. I never lose faith in them, and sometimes even they lose faith in themselves, but then they'll pick it back up, and we'll be down 7 or 8 points, and we'll roll,
Some kind of spark.
some spark, we'll tie it up, and then we'll push ahead, and they'll finish. So they, we've done that several times this year. So I'm very proud on that part, on that, because they can be down or they can be up, either one and do that. So
Absolutely, that's awesome. We'll start right here. What does it mean, in your words, to be a Southside Panther and play in a program like this in front of fans like this that love you?
It just means the world to me. I mean, I've always wanted to stick up for my school, and no matter what it is, outside of school, in school, like I always stick up for my school and my team, and I always played the hardest I can for my teammates and my school, because we're like, I feel like our school's like really close. Like all of us are super close, and we all we'll defend our school no matter what in any sport.
Absolutely.
It's something to be proud of, like to be a part of. And I feel like no matter what happens, we're always going to have each other. And that's something that's really cool to be a part of.
Absolutely.
I like it because we always have support. Like, it doesn't matter if some person doesn't like you or something, like, in the end, they're going to stick up for you. And they're always going to support you, no matter what.
Wearing that Southside on the front of your jerseys means something. I mean, I'm not disrespecting the male athletics at Southside in any case. I'm just saying, female athletics here are top notch, like all sports. This one included for sure. I'm kind of amazed by it. It's unbelievable. Coach, we talked about this earlier. We go back and retouch on it. What's it going to take to make a deep run this year and peak at the right time? You know what I mean, down the stretch, and we're getting to the stretch now, really. So.
We're at that stretching point. Tomorrow or Wednesday, yeah. So tomorrow, really, we talk about this a lot. Tomorrow starts that point to where, hey, we got 3 weeks left of the season. After tomorrow, we head to Boaz on Saturday, and then our competition starts picking up for area tournament to prepare us for that. So the better competition we play, the better off I think we are in the area tournament. It doesn't matter what seed we are. That's where it's, records don't matter. Who you beat doesn't matter. You're all even kill, and it's one and done. So that's where we got to start right there going into our area tournament on that part. I don't know if you know this, but everything's changed this year. They just released stuff from the Athletic Association yesterday, but our area tournament is now on the 13th, and then we're kind of doing like basketball, like a sub-region game. So we'll have a sub, because of COVID, because of spacing and stuff. So they're cutting down regional tournament to 4 courts instead of 6 up in Huntsville. So
Really?
Yeah. So if you finish first or second, if you finish first in area, you'll host the sub-region game. If you lose, you'll travel, but it's that first round that you'll face. So we could we'll play on that Tuesday, and then we could possibly host, if we finish first, host or travel 1 to 2 on that Friday or Saturday, and then region tournament would be up in Huntsville the following week.
I think that'll make it more difficult, or you eventually have to play them.
Yeah, I mean, they're a lot of schools can't spend the night. A lot of counties and stuff can't spend the night. So
travel will come into play.
Travel is a big issue, and then so when you make it to Huntsville, you would play 3 in a day, to where you would only play 1 or 2 in a day. So that's going to be kind of rough on that part.
No doubt. Well, ladies, I really appreciate you sitting in. This has been an absolute pleasure, and you guys go as far as you can possibly go and peak at the right time. And you are at the right school and the right system to do that with the right coach. So thank you, ladies, and
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.